favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I will try and have that this afternoon, if not next week, or tomorrow morning.
Are we still gonna make a contract like this, like White Sulphur's in?
Yeah, if you guys would like to just go in and change that from Mar to Broadwater and any other things you want, then we can bring it up for a vote and go from there.
I'd be glad to do that.
All right.
What do we want in there for payment though? Mar County's got 2,100.
That would be fine with me. I know there's certainly a cost with it. You guys want to throw some other numbers out there? Certainly have debate.
I'd say 18 maybe.
What does Hella pay? 25?
Yeah.
Okay, anything more on indigent burial for now?
No.
Okay, next on the agenda at 11:30 is the second reading for adopt the floodplain ordinance.
There's a Montana code there that could look up. You see that there?
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
You went and finalized everything before any public comment on that matter, and I just would like to add that it is an inherent risk to business to have their accounts receivable covered by their self. So I agree with everybody there that you did the right thing. But there is still one thing that was brought up earlier that needs clarification. You had made the comment about giving access to our county cemetery for these folks. I think that's setting a precedent. If I don't have the money to buy a plot out at Deep Creek, I'm going to come to the county and say, hey, I want one provided by the county. So that needs to be clarified.
We did.
I think we did.
No, Tim.
It was discussed. It wasn't in the final motion,
No.
but it
Yeah,
was
it wasn't
discussed.
in the
I want to
motion.
just make sure that
And anybody
that
can-
does not be included. So whatever Randy has to do with these folks, that's his business.
Thank you for your input. All right, now for the next agenda item, which is the second reading of the to adopt the floodplain ordinance. Any questions from the board before we get started?
No.
All right, we will close this general hearing and open a public hearing. This is second reading. Is there any public comment or questions? Comment or questions? Tim?
Just one question. I understand the major push for this is to provide for the national flood insurance of all of the residents within the county, which is a no-brainer. I think it's worth discussion to have a little further clarification on with our floodplain ordinance, if there has been any changes to the boundaries of the floodplain itself, then that would be worth at least pointing out in note. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other comments, questions? All right, we will close this public hearing, go back to the commission. Of course, these are, I don't see a signature page on this, but we do need to get this done by the end of the fiscal year, according to Sean, ASAP, so that we do not leave our citizens high and dry. As far as the floodplain maps, those have been available for review for about 2 years now. So anybody who is curious as to what those boundaries are, they certainly may look at the maps. And Sean has been addressing the biggest issue, which was the county boundary line. So we do need a vote to adopt these regulations so that we can make sure that our citizens are covered.
Maps are available in your office, aren't they, Ann?
And have been.
They were when I was clerk. I'll make a motion that we adopt the floodplain management regulations.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to adopt the floodplain hazard management regulations. Any further comment? Okay, all those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Okay. And the adjusting journal entries, we are 15 minutes before lunch. These have also been in the commission office. I only put them in two.
And Doug sent up some So you asked what those were. don't
Oh, I
know.
have them in another pile. Thank you, I wasn't sure what that was. These are for April, we just got a tad bit behind with everything else going on. I'm gonna guess he sent us 3 of each of these. Oh no, these are just more journals for May, so we'll bring these up, and June. Bring these up next week. We'll get caught up on May. So these are April. There's 2 piles. They have been in the commission office since they were delivered in our mail. I have gone through them as they've come in.
This is all one thing.
Both of them are, yeah. I just didn't have a clip big enough for all of them. It is 11:45 right now. Do you guys want to continue working on through, or do you want to recess and come back at 1:30 to finish mail and to discuss or vote to approve these journal entries?
I'm fine with whatever.
Franklin?
Can't we approve these as whole? They're really, it's just a formality, because it's all done.
Government, Franklin, is about checks and balances, and the auditor asked us to go through these adjusting journals. This is the way you keep any kind of embezzlement from happening, by making sure that people know that there's more than one set of eyes on every single transaction of money. The reason we go through these is part of that check and balance.
Yeah, because,
And part of our job to protect the county. So no, we shouldn't just, as a blanket, approve all of these. They should be reviewed. They should be gone through one by each one of the 3 of us. And then we should have a vote on the record that we approve these journal entries, which says we have gone through them, we understand them, and they are good to go. But it needs to be all 3 of us, and that's why they're brought to these meetings.
See the one on the docks to Jerry Reller. Did the docks get moved?
Not yet. There's a letter here, and if you guys are gonna go through these now, I'll read it now. I don't know what it says from the Corps of Engineers. I hope I got my other homework. But they are ready to go. They've got an engineer, ready to do it. We did the previous one, so everything's set except for the letter of permission.
Do we have enough water over there?
Now we do, yeah. Long time coming,
But we have one.
right, yeah.
see it's been corrected. I see there's one here, a check in the high school for 4-H building. And they paid $150 to use the building. And that's not there. And I, after being there, also county entity as themselves.
Give you that, piece of copies. Give me this one too. Alright. You want this one too? Want this one?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I have a question, if that's okay.
Okay.
Two questions actually. Could I get a copy of the map of the silos area? And no canvassing on the votes this morning?
No, we're gonna do that with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And that has been posted this morning around town by Karen.
So that still meets the time frame for the posting?
It does. The deadline is tomorrow, and what happened is the commission and Doug all forgot to add that to the agenda. And we brought it this morning before the meeting, which is too late to get it noticed. So we're gonna do 24-hour notice around town, Missoula, County sent that precedent with the Supreme Court, so we should be fine with that.
So 24-hour for the canvass vote is the 14th.
I'll get you a copy of this too. I need to make sure you have a signature page on that, or that we don't need it. You guys are gonna be a few minutes with that, and I'm gonna get some homework to read. I'll be right back.
Is that April? Or May? Do you have May on the agenda?
I think, what is it? Is it May or April?
This is April here.
Okay,
This one's May.
all right, one of them's May, one's April, so we'll just approve the May.
So, what are you doing?
Just going through.
Could I borrow that to mark?
Here, Judy is,
The blue were all the dark ones here. The marker, the ones that are yellow, they're kind of.
Okay,
here, why don't you just take mine here?
okay,
I
great.
have one of
Thanks so much. Thanks.
The number, you know, the journal entry, it has
You don't.
Well, before, you had it there, you had, whatever the number was, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, this is for the postage, isn't it? And then you say journal entry, then we'd have, like your journal number 745, and we'd go down this list. But I mean, where's that list at?
I don't think we need it now, being as we've got it this way with all the detail on it.
Oh, so in other words, we just go through like this here, and
Mhm. Make sure there's a debit and a credit, you know, on each one.
yeah, but, oh, okay, so in other words, then we don't have that.
No. And there'll be something here, in the memo, there's something usually, there's a reverse journal entry, 766, the amount of check, and,
So you, yeah, yours is the same as I have here. So we just go through these and we.
Thank you. Use it like June.
looks good.
All right. Is that a motion?
No, I'm waiting on Franklin to get through his.
I'm just looking some more. And then make your motion.
We've been through all of these?
Yeah. No, I haven't been through those. Or not, they're the same as here.
No,
I thought,
they're all journals, but they're all different journals.
yeah, I think there is, but.
Have you been through the stack?
I thought
Then you should, before you second the motion, to approve them.
Now, is this,
That's the ones I have.
okay, now are these May then, or is this,
There's a date up there on the left, those are April.
okay, yeah, this is April.
When is the school gonna do the roof for the library?
Oh, no, I thought they were gonna get on that pretty quickly, so, and I don't know, probably after school goes over, which is now. But, I would think that'd be the only thing that we're working, or waiting on. And maybe with the forecast of rain, they're giving them a few days. Paper clip.
Won't work, dear, I'm sorry.
Big rubber band, I can go home.
Okay. What's this here? Just put that on here.
What's these?
Oh, this is the postage here.
Okay. What else do we
These
have?
are for claims that we got.
Yeah. Move that we approve claims, or no, sorry, I was just looking at claims. The journal entries,
For April.
yes, ma'am?
So,
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the review journal entries for the April 2014. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye, motion carries.
I'll make a motion.
We can't do May yet because it's not on the agenda, but since we saved so much time by going through it today.
Does say May.
Oh, it does say May. Okay, we will do April next week just as a catch-all. And how about May? Sorry, Elaine.
we just did it.
Yep.
But it's not on here, so it has to be on here, so we can make a motion.
Oh, okay, we have to approve it again, though, do we?
No.
Absolutely could. We'll put it on the agenda next week, just so it's there, but it is under county management, and this is budget management.
Mhm.
So we should do May, though. Any motions for May?
So moved.
Oh, I missed it. What'd you say?
We're doing the adjusting journal entries for May now,
Okay,
and we have a motion. We need a second.
I'll second it.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the reviewed journal entries for the month of May 2014. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, thank you. I will still put April on the agenda just so that it's covered.
But we don't have to make a motion or anything, can we?
No. And I'd ask for a quick one just to make sure that everything is done with housekeeping. All right, some quick mail and then we'll break for lunch. And a nice long lunch today. First off, the canvassing. We did discuss that while you guys were reviewing the journal entries. It did not make it on the agenda, just an oversight, which is probably why this is a team of three, because one person will forget things from time to time. So we didn't get it on the agenda, so it'll be tomorrow at 10 o'clock here, same place. And it is being posted, or it has been posted. So
Will we be in this room or down in our other office?
it's been posted for this room.
Okay.
Yeah. And if we have to move for some reason, we'll just put up a sign. A couple of letters. This is from the Department of the Interior, and this is the Iron Mask Planning Area Environmental Assessment. And there's a 45-day comment period on that.
There was an article in the IR about this
Mm-hmm.
this weekend.
Next, we have from the Montana Department of Revenue, a newly licensed premises. This is at 37 Muffley Lane in Winston. This is the Stonehouse Distillery. I'd like to forward this to Julie, but also we need your help to determine if the above applicant and location comply with all laws and ordinances administered by your office. We ask that you please advise us by July 6th. And again, this is a request put to the Montana Department of Revenue. Or from, excuse me,
And where's it for?
Stonehouse
License.
Distillery in Winston.
Are they using the old stone house there?
Evidently.
No, they're not
It's
using
not?
it, they're just naming their business after it since it is such a well-known landmark.
Hmm.
It's at 37 Muffley Lane.
Muffley Lane would be up there.
Yeah, it's close to it, you can see it from his place.
Is it just the application and tell them what they're gonna do?
Mhm. They're even gonna have a tasting room.
Hmm?
They're even gonna have a tasting room.
I just do it, and say, I mean, there's that beer, there's that hard liquor.
Distillery,
Distillery is for either?
I don't know.
hard liquor.
It is.
I think it's rum that he's making.
Oh.
Hmm.
Next, we have from the Department of the Army, this is Subject Canyon Ferry Lake, addition of 4 dock structure, silos recreational area, marina, and it does look like they have the go-ahead. This verification will be valid until March 18, 2017. In compliance with General Condition 30, the close compliance certification form must be signed and returned to the address listed upon completion of the project.
You need a motion on this.
No, I think it's just to let us know, and be aware, have it on the record that we received this. But it looks like it needs to be,
Consider signature permitting. And the commission.
compliance certification, I think that's upon completion of the activity. So I think that we need to keep and then sign as soon as it's done. And we'd be wise to have a walkthrough with Sean, Bryant and Bill Dykes at that time anyway.
When you do that, when you're 800,
Next year sometime.
oh,
2017 in March, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you. Next we have from the Montana Community Development Division, Department of Commerce. This is regarding the TSEP program and the sidewalks, and they would just like us to have one more public meeting. And it is, what is missing from the documentation was an EA, an environmental assessment. And this is very easy. Sean is going to send us the document, but, oh, it's right here. All we have to do is have a public hearing that we have looked into that, which we have through the engineer. So it's just paperwork. And I'll schedule that for next week. And next we have a claim from PILT. So we do need to vote on this to cover electric and heat for the ambulance building for the extension office.
Also move.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the electric and heat bill for the ambulance building for the extension office, and it is for the sum of $250.12. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. And that was to pay from PILT. Was that part of the motion? Okay. All right, next we have payroll, or $148,752.14.
Say the number again, please.
148,752.14.
I'll make a motion that we approve payroll, $148,752.14.
No second.
It's been moved and seconded to pay payroll in the amount of $148,752.14. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, next we have the approved claims from last week in the amount of $66,414.82.
I'll make a motion to pay those claims in the amount you just stated.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved and seconded to pay the approved claims in the amount of $66,414.82. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. There you go. Oh, sorry.
The detention center, 21,000. What that's for?
Meals came through this last week. Are you looking for something?
No, yeah, you said this was for detention meals?
There's a
No.
line item there for detention center.
What else, I was wondering what is this? Oh, this is all, the total of these here,
Mhm.
oh, okay. I misunderstood what you said about.
Oh, I probably didn't say it clear.
All right,
Nursery.
one other thing with the indigent burial, did you guys want to address at this time putting more money in that fund or leave it in $1,000? Any thoughts, discussion, input?
suppose we should go to that, what amount did we didn't really agree on amounts yet, did we?
No, we don't have a contract yet.
Yeah, so I suppose we should have, that'd be figuring for one, if we, go like, say it was 18 or if it's 2,100, whatever, that's what we should put in there then, on the budget.
That's, any thoughts you have, Elaine, on this particular subject?
But the 1,000 is for the whole year, is it not?
It is, I kinda like just keeping it where it's at right now for a couple of reasons. One is we had 1 in 10 years. Do we need to just be holding money in a pot for only this purpose? It can't be used for anything else, for an eventuality that may take another 10 years to hit us. 2 is we don't have a total yet, so I don't see any reason to address it. This was brought up earlier, so I think we should at least, just take care of the housekeeping. And 3 is, I kind of think it's not a bad idea to just have a minimal amount in this fund, and then when another situation comes up, address it, put money in the fund as it's needed, and that way nothing slips through. This is just an extra protection for the county. So,
I think that's fair, leave it at 1,000.
Well, that's
If
okay
you want,
with
we
me.
can increase.
Yeah, cause we'll have to increase it when it does come.
Yeah.
So
no
I
need
guess
to
it'll
increase
make
it
a
until
difference.
then. Okay, that's okay with the board, all 3?
Yep.
Okay, all right. And then the last thing is Commissioner's Community Update. And then we'll go to lunch. Franklin, what'd you do this week?
Conservation. Last week.
Anything to share as far as what you did?
Well, they're just busy on they got more 310 permits and they got some of those 319. They got a lot of little things that just carrying on, continuing. And that's it.
I helped the Deep Creek Cemetery find some documents.
Oh, wow. I bet that was kind of interesting.
Well, yes
Are they
and no.
old?
Yeah, goes clear back to 1817 or something like that.
Wow.
But I knew a quick way to do it, so yeah.
Oh, cool. Anything else?
No.
Okay, that's really interesting. 1817, you don't think that we're that old, but we are.
The Deep Creek Cemetery was started before Broadwater County was established,
Yeah,
or Townsend.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure all the old Regisburg and Hollywood were
Mhm.
before that.
Well, I went to Mel's party, his retirement party, for 50 years in Rotary and 39 as treasurer. That is pretty spectacular for anybody to have that kind of dedication. And then Board of Crime Control was Friday. And what I wanted to bring up is the major issue that every jurisdiction is dealing with right now is mental health. We've got to get a handle on our mental health situation. So, other than that, it was just business as usual. So, we will adjourn for lunch and be back at 3 o'clock. Finish our day. Thanks.
I was surprised that the cemetery would be established before a county.
Yeah.
You would think that the county and the town would be established first.
Was it established even before our county was built?
Is that I don't know.
Because it's one
Lloyd.
of our
Well, then also part of Jefferson.
But